Hi everyone, today we're going to go over the SEA Clan League Season 2 for Fusion Slugs, which was in Tier 5, the lowest tier. This was the first ever tournament that we entered. It was the whole reason the Fusion Slugs came into existence. Here you can see our roster, just the 10 players, no one above gold level. We were quite low level players, and out of all the rosters, we were one of the weakest. But yeah, the reason we came together was we were all mostly friends outside of StarCraft, had played a lot of StarCraft together at lunchtimes and after work on weekends. And so anyway, this video we're just gonna quickly go over the whole season, because I don't have many videos, and obviously thanks to the new StarCraft data methods, we can't watch any of the old replays I have, so I'm just going to talk about them. So week 1 saw our first competitive hit out against Fade, and as you can see we actually managed to pull off a 3-3 draw. So every match was a best of 5, but the ace match was worth 2 points. All the games were played at the exact same time where permitted, and the matchups were done a day in advance. So yeah, that's how we managed to get the draw, because I managed to take the ace match, and my game was actually streamed. The VODs are actually on this YouTube channel, but we'll quickly go through it in really fast motion, just so I can talk about it a bit. Here's the match. It's on Tal'Darim Altar, if anyone remembers that old map. I used to always have a big problem playing this map, just because it was the building placements at the natural was so hard to, as a Protoss, to get right, so you didn't get just early killed by most races. So I was not confident at all going into this game. Here comes the big engagement. Siege tanks in position, which is probably a bad thing to attack into, but you know, I'm only a gold level player, so I wasn't really thinking about it. And I had enough, so I didn't pay for that mistake, thankfully. Antigua Shipyard. So this map, I mean, I have a lot of fond memories playing this map, but it was only once I finally again got expanding down right, again because of the ramp and the way it was. But I remember having a lot of long games on this map. Yeah, I'm not going to go over it too much more, because as I said, the VODs are there for you to watch, so let's not get too caught up in it. In week 2 we actually had a bye, so that meant we came to week 3 and we got schooled hard. As you can see, every game was a 2-0, and yeah, it was a bit demoralizing, a little bit. We were all a little bit, oh, okay, we are quite far behind. But on the other hand, it was the first time for Jed and Del to play some games, and the first time Bonic played the ace match, so he had a bit more nerves than normal, and I had to play a platinum, so I was really nervous, and people were expecting a bit more from me this week, so I think a lot of nerves came into this game, and yeah, there wasn't any VODs unfortunately for me to show you, so we'll go straight to week 4, which is our 3rd game. And we played one of the 2 QED teams, and it was another 6-0 not on map 1. As a side note, there was a rule that every round you had to change 2 players out. So as you can see here, we actually fielded a bit of a weaker team, with 2 of our gold members having to rest, including myself. I couldn't make this game, I remember. I was away. So during this tournament, one of the members of S22C on the forum started doing some write-ups for Tier 5, which was really exciting. And what he was one that actually started supporting us quite early on. He also provided the prize for the most improved player. After 4 rounds, we were pretty much last. We had 1 point, the same as many for other teams, so we'll equal last. This is what Volition had to say about us after week 4. Said that we were way too good to go 0-10 2 weeks in a row. And yeah, I think that really helped the motivation of the team, and having people outside of the clan going, you guys are actually playing well and things will improve, and that something that really helped and really picked us up, as you'll see. Now there are some VODs from week 4 which we'll quickly look up to. So these games are actually from the QED channel, and I don't even know what. Oh, this is Calm Before the Storm, isn't it? That map didn't last very long in the pool. So this is the ace match, and again, as I said, the links to this video I'll put here, and they're in our playlist for the SEACL Clan League. But yeah, there are times where in this game Bonic was looking on top. So while it was a whitewash, it wasn't as bad as the scores make it out to be. Alright, so now we came to week 5, and we played the VB Sober Soldiers. Now this was quite close in the end, and it was a team that we had a chance. As you can see, I got promoted to Platinum, so I was starting to really get a lot better, and I was able to take my ace match against the Terran. And so as I said, my PvT wasn't strong going into the Clan League, but it started to become one of my strongest matchups as this went on. That Bonic almost pulled off a win himself, which would have given us another draw, but this was a much better showing overall. And so here you can see Volition's right up again. It was a good result for VB. Definitely was a battle which was going to determine who might have a shot at making the playoffs or not. So losing this game, I mean, we were never expecting to get the playoffs. We were just taking part and getting better was all we wanted to do. Taking the ace game was great for myself. I was starting to really get some confidence in leading the team and taking the ace matches. And yeah, I felt if I could keep taking the ace matches where I could, I mean, I was trying to share it around if other people wanted it. But I remember Bonic was not very confident at all, and our other goal player he got pretty busy around this time, and I didn't want to give the ace match to our silvers, so it didn't give us much choices. So week 6, I saw us play the Perth Penguins. They were just a bunch of people who didn't have clans, who were from Perth, who took part. And as you can see here, we came awfully close to pulling this one off. And Perth were one of the stronger teams. As you can see, there was 2 plats and a diamond in their lineup. And I went 2-1 with Mr. Crow. It was a game. The VODs again will be up on the YouTube channel, which I'll link here. So I mean, this point here in this game is the moment where I probably should have won. I was just playing way too passive. Again, playing a high level player, sometimes just you change your mindset, which isn't the right thing to do. You should just play like you normally want to. And yeah, I needed to get another base up, which I didn't do. And the turning point happens very shortly in this game. I mean, this fight wasn't too bad for me. Considering he's remaxing on 28 roaches right now. But I didn't have enough gateways. You can see I didn't remax very quickly. I have heaps of resources, I'm floating like anything, but I'm not spending it because I don't have enough gateways. And by the time I actually get up everything I need, they're broodlords. And I just didn't understand how to play against broodlords yet. And thus, this fight went really badly and I lost this game. And then the third game, so I did a push here, and at this point, I see him being really greedy, and I wanted to punish him for it, but he had the spines up, and I fight the spines, which was silly. I either needed to not fight the spines, simply by running past, or doing something different. I mean, there's no way the Zerg army could defend all those bases, and instead I threw away the whole army, and he had 4 bases, and that was that. I was really happy to see Del and Neil take wins. Big boost to their confidence. So while we lost this one, it was nice to see some of the silvers get some wins, and Excel almost got the series as well. He picked up 1 map win, so as a morale boost, this was a huge week for the team. So Evolution, here's his wrap up of that round. You can see, as I said, he predicted the result as a 4-2, and yeah, it was a great series in the end for us. Alright, so week 7 saw us play Terra Australis, and again it was very similar to the week before. I couldn't make it because of other commitments, so with that and Nevar not being able to play, as our team was a little bit weaker, but we almost stole it. The bronze v bronze showdown almost went our way, which would at least push to draw, and Del and Zom both managed to take their matches. The Rogue v Del game is actually on our YouTube as well, so if you watch that from Rogue's point of view. So things were going well for the team. A few wins were coming on board for players, and we weren't winning series, but the confidence was growing. We believed we knew that the win was coming soon, and we had some a bit easier games coming up. Yeah, this is some of the action from the game for Del versus Rogue, and again, it's from Rogue's point of view, which makes it a bit harder to understand exactly what went down. But Del just did a good job of shutting down the economy. And I think this is about the time where he started to get better at drop play and harassing, which is where he became a much better player. The second game was on Shakira's Plateau for Del, and he just kept managing again to just make sure the Zerg didn't get too out of hand, and did a good job at defending his bases as well. And yeah, that helped him get the victory here. So here's Volition's recap again, and yeah, I mean, it's mostly what I said there. It was close-ish, but TA were a much better side, and we didn't it would have been unfair to them for us to win it. Just based on the fact that our team was still learning how to play a lot and growing further and further along. So week 8 saw our first win of, well, I guess of Fusion Slugs' existence, but in the SEA Clan League, and it saw everyone win besides myself, which was a really nice thing for me personally. My PvP, I wasn't confident in the matchup at all. My 4-gate was really bad, and my 4-gate defense was not very good. It was something I started working on, as I knew it was a weakness. And when I lost the series, I thought that was our chance, because I saw that we were going well in the games early on. As I said, they all play at the same time, so I thought, okay, if I get this ace match, we should win. And when I lost it, I thought, oh, well, you know, threw away our chance of winning, but the other 4 came through, and I was so happy for all 4 of them, because they all worked really hard for it. And unfortunately, I don't have any VODs for this series, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so here's the write-up from Volition. As they mentioned, he says everyone seems to have a soft spot for us, and it was something I was starting to notice too. There was a lot of other clans who were like clan leaders who were starting to talk to me and give me advice and help out a lot. And there were some members of the community in the bronze, silver, gold, platinum level anyway, who were tournament admins and that, who were starting to ask me more questions about what we wanted to do. I mean, at this point, we actually did not have our Fusion Slug logo. We were just a ragtag of friends and had no intention to do this after the Clan League. But I think about now was when I was like, well, maybe we should actually do this properly. And yeah, I think around now is when I started getting our website and forum ready and started asking people for logo ideas, including my sister, who ended up creating the logo. So our next game was against Team HOH, and we were both right at the bottom. A couple other teams were near around us, but we were 2 of the weakest teams on paper at the start. So I always saw this match as our big chance. Getting the win against TCP, obviously, our morale and confidence was really high, but I didn't want to get overconfident, because this was the game I'd marked at the start of the season that we could take this, and I planned our roster resting so we could have the strongest team we could have for this match. And as you can see, that ended up paying off, as we managed to go 4-2. This time I managed to take the ace match, which I have VODs for, and they're on the YouTube. And yeah, Nevar and Bonic won their games, and unfortunately Zom and Dell did not, but they came very close. Every series was 2-1. It was a great series, one of the matches I remember the most, because all the HOH gang were a great bunch of people. They were really friendly. We had a really friendly rivalry. So this game was a 4-gate versus a 4-gate, and I miss that force field. See, it was just a little bit off, and then he gets up the ramp, he can warp on the high ground, and it's game over. I was trying to desperately kill these things before he got the warp in, but I just missed out, and it, yep, totally GG at that point. So that was, yeah, that was my PvPs in a nutshell at that point. I was so missing, just doing slight mistakes which just killed me. In game 2, He went Twilight to do Blink, I assume, and I went 4-gate, and he does not stop me from getting up the ramp. So it's very similar to the first game. But he doesn't have a sentry, and I can just walk up his ramp. It doesn't matter at that point. Yeah, I guess if he had that sentry, he probably would have won that game, because he would get Blink up, and then I won't be able to fight his stalkers with my stalkers. But yeah, without the force field, you just die. The final game, now he could kill me at this point. In fact, there's an interesting video he does afterwards. He goes through and watches the game again, which is the most interesting thing. So here we go, watch this. So he does a really good job of baiting my stalkers over to where he's going to warp in, and he kills 2 of them. And I'm in huge trouble at this point, but he missed that probe. And if he just walks up the ramp right now, he wins. He has the stalker numbers. But he decides to wait for a warp in, which is delayed because he hasn't got his pylon yet. I don't get sentries, which is questionable, but I just didn't have the gas for it yet. I should have got one earlier, but I was going for a 4-gate myself. So, and then at this point, he could maybe attack, but it's risky. Yeah, if he went straight up at the start, he would have killed me. That series was really intense, and I really had a good relationship with Venom. We played some mono battles together and things like that, and we were both really nervous about the series because we got along well, and so there was a lot of respect for each other's skill, and we knew that it was going to be really important. So yeah, it was a really nice series. I remember talking to him about those games for a while afterwards, and there were so many chances we could have both won and lost games. I mean, at BSG level and Plat, it comes down to that so many times in the game. So I actually did the write-up for the week beforehand, and yeah, this is, I guess, when I started really pushing the clan aspect pretty far, and really started to take this a lot more seriously. I mean, it's still fun, you know, it's all about fun, but I mean, actually trying to make something of the Fusion Slugs and looking into running tournaments and clan wars and things like that myself. So this is my way of getting involved in it some more. So week 10. We actually managed to get yet another victory against QED. This match was actually a really tricky one. Not in terms of games, I mean, in terms of organisation. Unfortunately, Fridge, who's also the QED leader for this team, was sick and uncontactable, and there was a lot of miscommunication, so we had no idea what was going on, and I think they didn't list their lineups properly either. So yeah, it was a lot of confusion, and we waited quite late for some of those games that we did play that night, and had no idea what was going on. And my games were really bad. I was so stressed and tired, and yeah, because I'm trying to run around, find QED's people and find their captain and find messages, looking through all my messages and that to get things going. And I have all my players going, what's going on, you know. Anyone's been a clan captain in a clan war where you have 5 simultaneous games will know what it's like. And by the time I finally sat down to play, my heart wasn't in it. I was just so over it, and I played really poorly. and got absolutely stomped. And I was really angry at myself the next day for doing it. And I mean, I feel sorry for Reverse Cure because I gave him crappy games. So Volition here, he's right up again. He summarizes a bit what I said there. So as I mentioned, there was no real drama between QED and Fusion Slugs in this. It was we were talking a lot about what should go down, and the admins made the walkover call in the end, mainly because there was just so many things that went wrong on their side. So anyway, yeah, I just want to make sure there was no bad feelings or anything like that. It was all good. It's just unfortunate that we won by a walkover, you know. Still, it put us in a really great position. And yeah, the most improved player award went to Delhi. You can see the reasons why I voted. As Fusion Slugs, we nominated him as our most improved player. And yeah, I mean, this is why Dell was the vice captain, because he was always willing to play, willing to go up against players better than him, and whilst at first he wasn't doing very well, he came back really strongly. And so the final match of the Clan League saw us unfortunately go down 6-0 to Tor. Tor, one of the strongest teams, so we always knew this was going to be a hard one, and Tor needed to win to secure a playoff spot, so they threw everything at us, and yeah, we couldn't really fight back. I did manage to win a game in this in the ace match, and it was a pretty fun series. It was close, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. So this is the final league standings. So we actually became 7th, which was, yeah, a really, really big result for us.